you should play easy games. I know there's a connotation, a negative one at that, around easy games. It's bad. They're boring. They're not interesting. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm starting to move away from that line of thought. I used to be right along with you. You know, one of the reasons why I didn't continue playing Kingdoms of Amalur was because it was a single player MMO feeling game. They got too easy, and because you over leveled and the game there was no challenge. So what's the point? And then I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna play it anymore. And that wasn't the only game I did that for. There was other games that I did not play because of a game being too easy. And then I started looking at, like going back and seeing how I played games when I was younger. And I noticed one thing. When I was younger, I played games that were easy, I played games that were hard, and I played games that were somewhere in between. And I enjoyed playing games in all those categories. Easy, medium, hard. Why? And it's because of the game itself. Just because a game is easy does not mean it's a bad game. In fact, some of the easy games out there that I would personally consider easy, I still have a lot of fun playing. Paper Mario 64. It's Paper Mario, the first one. That's a lot of fun. That game is very interesting. I love a lot. Honestly, I don't think there's a single area in that game that I don't like, which is saying something. Usually, in pretty much every game, even one of my favorite games of all time, there's usually an area in the game where I'm like, I really don't like this area. For example, in the original Final Fantasy VII, that would be Midgar for me. Midgar is the most boring and uninteresting part of the whole game. And every other part of the game I pretty much like. To varying degrees. Some I really like, some I kind of like, this ain't bad. I kind of like this. But Midgar, it's like that kind of like, yeah, I really don't really care for this area. And honestly, there's other easy games out there that have a really good popularity. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That's another very easy game for me. I play it. I can pretty much beat all the bosses, do everything that I want to do in under 10 hours. I think the last time I did it was like 7-8 hours. And that was with me having to fight the super boss without the special item that made it a cakewalk. And that battle took probably like 20-30 minutes. If I had the thing that made it a cakewalk, that battle would have been done much quicker. And it might have been, I think it was 8 hours. So it might have been a sub 8 hour run, just casually. Or maybe around like the lower part of the 8 hour mark. That's not all. There's a lot more easier games out there. The one you see on the screen, Spyro the Dragon. Very easy game. Yes, there's a couple challenging spots in here, like the treetop area. But if you're just going to beat the game, or beat most of it, pretty much every area you can easily get out all the collectibles. Minus a few ones that are kind of challenging. The treetop one being the most infamous one. But that's the thing. This game is very fun. Very interesting. And then I started to realize, you know what? The game being easy has nothing to do with how fun or enjoyable a game is, or how good a game is. It is the world itself. It is the gameplay itself that decides it. Castlevania Symphony of the Night has really good and immersive world building. The castle itself is very interesting. The story, simple, basic, but interesting. Gameplay loop, very fun. Spyro the Dragon, same thing. Paper Mario 64, same thing. Simple, basic, fun. Good world, good lore, and that's what makes the difference. So the more and more I see it, in fact, I think they have a new word for for easy. Some call it cozy, but cozy does not necessarily mean easy, because what people find cozy and enjoyable will vary. There's some people who find some complex puzzle games that are very challenging cozy. It can be very hard, but it can be cozy because it's a puzzle game. It could be, it could be one of the most challenging games of all time and still be cozy. But yeah, and the same thing with difficulty games. Not all difficulty games are good, like high difficulty ones, just because they're difficult. In fact, some people have found that out the hard way. The more complex you make something, the more convoluted you make something, the more uninteresting, uninspiring it could feel. And the more uninspiring and uninteresting it feels, the less people want to play it. The difficulty does not matter. It is the game itself and the core foundation of the game. That's what matters most. With that said, the reason why I think people should play easy games, not exclusively, just a little bit more often, and that is to give you palate cleansers. Shake things up. Because one of the things I found out, like just playing games long enough, if I play a similar kind of game over and over and over and over, eventually it becomes samey. It feels, like I'm just doing the same thing. Like that novelty is worn off. That new experience, even though I'm playing a new game, it feels the same. And because of that, you run into a problem. You might think, oh, I'm not interested in gaming anymore. I'm burning out, or I'm growing up. It's not actually that. It's just you have pigeonholed yourself into one type of game for so long that you think that and you actually believe it. Now, there's a difference between not having enough time for games and believing yourself growing up, even though you have the time and you want to play games, but you're just not enjoying it anymore. And I seen a video on YouTube about this guy who has some middle-aged friends, one including his own father, where they used to play Half-Life a bunch. Like, it was like a weekly thing for them, and they continued to play it. And then they tried a couple other shooter games, and they liked it, but it just wasn't, it wasn't clicking with them. It wasn't, something that was just really satisfying, really fun to play together. Then they tried this one game. I can't remember what it's called. It was some game where you get sent to a planet, and then you gotta go collect a bunch of garbage or junk or something like that, and you gotta worry about monsters. And there's no, you can't fight the monsters. You basically gotta get in and evacuate while collecting what you need to collect. And the guy found out that each one of them did something different. They had a different focus. One of them went solo. Grabbed I think it was like a jetpack and just started flying around trying to do it solo. One person found a lot of interest in customizing the ship, and each one of them had something they kind of wanted to focus on. And then he got him to try Minecraft finally. And, these guys oh, it's a kid game, blah, blah, blah. And they joke. And then Minecraft clicked with them. And their family and friends ended up getting a lot of enjoyment, a lot of fun out of Minecraft. And I'm like, yeah. They found something that they truly clicked with them that was giving them that experience again because they tried something different. They tried something new. They kind of cleansed their palate with something different. Still a game. And they kind of really enjoyed it. And I start looking back at the points where I felt burnt out of games, where I And I kind of said, you know what? That was around the time when I just kept on playing the same kind of stuff and didn't really play something of a different genre or something that completely feels different. That's why when I try and play games, I don't just stick with the one game, and then when I go to the next game, it's just another game in that same genre. I played Pal World a bunch, and prior to that, I was playing RTS games. Prior to that, I can't remember what I was playing specifically, but yeah, I went like RTS games, playing a bunch of RTS games. Then I jumped into Pal World for a little bit, and right now, I'm still looking for that game, and I'm honestly thinking about trying Kingdom. Was it Kingdom of Amalur? To see if that clicks with me, and then if that clicks with me, then I'm gonna be playing it a crap ton. I tried playing Terraria, and I'm like, yeah, I really don't feel like playing Terraria right now. Tried Minecraft. There is one app. Actually, I'm actually playing one mod pack that I kind of want to play, but I want to have something else a little bit different, where it's more casual. Because for Minecraft, it's mouse and keyboard. I want a controller game where I can play on a controller, because that feels a little bit more relaxing. So depending on how I'm feeling, I can play with the controller or keyboard and mouse. So yeah. And if you guys got some cozy or easy games that had a negative connotation that you think is worth playing or looking at, put them in the comment section below, because I want to find more of these cozy, easy games that I can add to my list. If I don't have them, add them to my wish list and give them a shot, to essentially just try and find some games that, because I'm going to be real. This past year or so, it was not a very good year. I'll tell you some stuff. Like a year ago, I got sick for 2 weeks. I think it started October 23rd and it went for about 2 weeks. So 24 into November 2024. 3 dogs died within the past year that I've had. Old age, natural causes, more than likely. One of them might have been that horrible sea disease. I'm not going to say which. It's not the worldwide one. It's the one that you say F that. And I'm not going to really get into the reason why I'm censoring myself there, but let's just say I really just don't trust YouTube to retroactively apply some rule that just screws over a YouTube channel. So, yeah, that's why I try to reduce the amount of swearing I do. Off screen, I swear whenever the heck I feel like it, minus some exceptions. But yeah. Now, back on the topic. Then my mom broke her foot, and it was a pretty bad broken foot. They had to have surgery on it to, and put some bolts or something into her ankle. And it was also not only broken, it was dislocated. So it was both. Then my dad had a health issue. And then my mom's last brother died. Now she only has one sister left, and that's it. So it's just like little things that kind of added up over the years, or over the past year. I'm like, I really don't feel like playing stressful games. Now would be a good time for some cozy and easy games. And that's another reason why I think easy and cozy games should be added to your repertoire, in case things like that happen. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said before, suggest me some easy and cozy games. You can list as many as you want. Like, if you have 5, give me 5. If you have 50, give me, as many as you can get in the comments, because I think YouTube has like a limit of like 5,000 characters or something like that you might not be able to get them all in there. But, yeah. Anywho, that's it. See ya.